So today, I don't know about you, but I'm kind of fed up with the state of relationships, intimate relationships, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife relationships. Because majority of them are in shambles, basically. So today I'm here to do a kind of investigative reading. I'm seeking answers from the Most High for those of you who are curious like I am to find out, well, why is that so? For me, I'm gonna look at it from the aspect of the divine reason, because from the earthly perspective we see how people are behaving. So what I want is a look behind the scenes as to why we have such crappy relationships with people of the opposite sex. Okay, so the question we'll be posing to the Most High today is, what is the divine reason why men and women are having such a difficult time maintaining harmonious, happy, long-lasting, productive relationships? So let's get this thing rolling, Most High. Where do we get those answers from? Please take over and give us all divine, well, help us to understand. Give us clear messages that we can comprehend. We can all comprehend. Those who truly want to know. Okay, let's stop there for now. Okay. So we're just gonna get a glimpse. Obviously there's more information, but you know, we're not gonna be greedy. Let's be grateful for what God does decide to share with us today regarding this matter. Because I don't know about you, but I want a good relationship. I want a successful relationship. I want a harmonious relationship, a productive, long-lasting, happy one. So, let's see what's stopping that from taking place from a general perspective, a general divine perspective. What's going on? Okay, so it's like I'm being told to pull all the cards from each deck. So I'm gonna go through pulling all the cards first. Okay, so we got that, and this. Okay. It's gonna be a while. Should I sing for you? Let's see. Take yourself to a place of beautiful surroundings. I'm getting spiritually, you know. Relax. Relax. This is gonna be an informative read. So by the end of this video, we will have learned something about having happy, long-lasting, productive, harmonious relationships with the opposite sex, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife. Okay, so we're taking all of those. Let's check the next deck. You guys who watch me regularly know how it is with me and my shuffling. See, part of the magic is in the shuffling. It's called aligning the cards. If they're not aligned, their message will not be accurate. Let's see what this is. You got abundance there. Yeah. Some people might think that it's too much, but if I end up hitting the nail on the head, then I think it's perfect. Let me turn my alarm off after I deal these cards. Okay, so we're taking that as it is. Next deck. Plus, I don't shuffle my decks after using them, so the energy from the last reading is there. So when I do go to do the next reading, I have to get rid of the old energy and align with the new one. From where you slice the cards to how the cards come together, all of it is very necessary. Even when you make a mistake, that's in God's plan. You have to feel it to know, yeah, accept that one, keep going. Because I'm not the one that's controlling these cards. So we have the Five of Athemes card, acting weird, a self-sabotage. He's holding the knife and he's holding the blade of the knife. So self-sabotage, that's an extra message there. Okay, that wasn't the one. Okay, one more deck and then we're ready to get the interpretation, the message. Okay. Interesting. So with this one, the card that come out is what they need to hear. Yeah. And at the bottom of the deck, the card what they want to hear was actually in the reverse. So we need to speak the truth to each other. Right off the bat, that's what that means. I'm going to leave that upside down like that. It's not about telling people what they want to hear. We have to tell people what they need. We have to tell each other what we need to hear. Okay? So let's begin at the beginning here. So we have make no judgments. Okay? Express your joy and face your adversities. So, the divine reason why men and women can't have harmonious, long-lasting, productive, happy relationships is because we make judgments. Okay? And we don't face our adversities. We prefer to wear a false sense of happiness, that fake security. That's what I'm getting from this. So we have make no judgments, express your joy, and face adversities. These two cards came out together. Express your joy and face your adversities. This one came out by itself. So express your joy and face your adversities says exactly what I got from it. Instead of facing our adversities, we tend to gloss over things, and that's why what we need to hear and what we want to hear is an issue. You see? So we tend to pretend that we're happy when we are not. Okay? And we tend to be judgmental as well. We tend to be very assuming, like we tend to make a lot of assumptions because we're not facing our adversities, as in communication. We're thinking that we know what the other person is thinking as opposed to them telling us, their side of the story so we can understand them. We assume that we know why they do things. We assume that we know what they mean when they say certain things. So the reason behind their actions and their words, things like that. So we make a lot of judgments. And instead of facing our adversities, we smile and pretend like we're okay, or we stay quiet to keep the peace, things like that. So we're afraid to ruffle feathers, and that's part of the reason why we do not maintain a healthy, happy relationship. Because when we first meet, there's no bad vibes, because obviously we haven't really interacted with each other much, and everything is all rainbows and unicorns kind of energy. But then as we get more used to each other, then the real issues start to come into play. So it's not just about being cute for each other anymore. It's not just about having sex anymore. It's not just about surface things. It's about getting to the meat of the relationship. Like, if I wasn't this beautiful, if I wasn't this rich, if I had problems, would you still love me? Would you help me? Things like that. So in the beginning of a relationship, everything is all hunky-dory because you're just getting to know each other. But will you still be into each other once you've seen the flaws of the person that you're with? Once you've seen their weaknesses and those things which are not so beautiful, And the thing is, a lot of the time we tend to focus more on those things that are going wrong in our lives and in the lives of the one that we're dealing with, as opposed to being grateful and taking time to actually acknowledge and be grateful for the things that are doing right. So yeah, it's all about our focus and things like that. We start off wrong by assuming that we understand the other person, forgetting that we're actually just getting to know each other. And I tell you, even after 50 years, you're just getting to know your partner, because the truth of life is, as life shifts, we have to adapt. So while we are adapting and growing as persons, sometimes we grow apart, sometimes we grow closer together. And in the case where two people are growing apart who started off so beautifully, it's like, how do you maintain that closeness? Where do you need to shift things? How do you need to move things around to maintain that relationship? Or is it time to say goodbye? You know? So yeah, that's one of the issues that we have to face. We make judgments, and instead of facing our adversities, we smile or we remain silent. Speak now or forever hold your peace and be miserable while you're doing so. So yeah, so that's one of the reasons why we can't have great relationships. So the next one we have, I'm hearing, look at the first five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I have to answer this. Excuse me. Hang on, Deval. I'm actually doing a video. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah. All right. Okay. All right then. No problem. Okay. Okay. Bye-bye. Yeah. Love you. Bye-bye. Sorry about this, my peoples. Family emergency. I'm so very sorry. Okay. So okay. So you should be all right now. Okay, so the first 5 cards, we have take a walk. Okay. We have write down 4 things you're grateful for. Okay. We have enjoying a soothing cup of tea made from real leaves or fruits. Trust me, God is going somewhere with this. Don't think it's nonsense. Bear with us. Play a game with your kids, siblings, parents, or grandparents. And we have practice positive affirmations. I told you God is going somewhere with this. So, the interpretation. We have take a walk. What does that mean to you? You need to know when to take a walk. So instead of going backwards and forwards with the negative talk, write down 4 things you're grateful for, which doesn't mean actually writing it down in a case like this. It means take a walk, focus on those things which are good about this relationship, and decide if it outweighs the negative things. I told you God's going somewhere with this. So then we have enjoy a soothing cup of tea made from real leaves or fruits. Nourish your soul. Because what do real leaves and fruits do? They nourish the body. And soothing, you see. So all those words put together, it tells you know when to walk away. Pay attention to what you are grateful for and weigh the balance. Enjoy a soothing cup of tea soothing vibes. Okay, so soft words, kindness, understanding. If you are breaking up, if you choose to break up, then there's no reason why we should be breaking up in the way that most people break up. I'm telling you, it is despicable because what we do there is burn bridges. And we may not be good as girlfriend or and boyfriend or husband and wife, but we could be a kick-ass duo as friends. You see, but if you burn the bridges, then you're nothing to each other. Why does it always have to be like that? You understand? So if you have to say goodbye, how about doing it in a civil and respectable manner? How about we try that? So we tried to be boyfriend and girlfriend, it didn't work out. Why do we have to be enemies? Why? We liked each other at one point. You know, if you've weighed the balances and you found that we're better off separated, then does that mean that we can't be friends either? Is it that bad in every case? You know? So anyhow, continue. Play a game with your kids, siblings, parents, or grandparents. Now, what that is saying to me is to be inclusive. You need to include your loved ones. It's not just about you. Oh, here we go again. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm doing a recording. Who is it? No. Hello. Who this? I'm not expecting nobody. Look like some kind of energy don't want me to do this reading, but we're gonna do it anyway, no matter how many hiccups we got. Moving on. So, play a game with your kids, siblings, parents, or grandparents. That's telling me that don't just shut yourself off as being you and your partner. You cannot cut off your parents. You can't really shut out your kids. You can't shut out your grandparents, especially because they're the ones with the most wisdom in a lot of the cases, you know, and wisdom make it man and woman. So yeah, you need to be inclusive. Include your friends, your family, you know, have relationships with people outside of each other, because both of you together alone, you're not gonna make it. And you'll be surprised what you can learn from children. So don't think that the children are kind of unimportant in a case like this. Trust me, if you're a person who pay attention to life, you'll know that you can learn a lot from children. And children, they can be truthful, like painfully truthful. Because especially when they're very young, because they haven't been groomed to think the way that society has taught us to think yet. So when they're really young, you can get the truth. If your breath stink, they'll tell you your breath stink. If you don't look nice, they'll tell you you don't look nice. But then beauty's in the eye of the beholder. But if your breath stink, your breath stink, and they'll tell you that. So you can learn from the kids, you can learn from your parents, and you definitely can learn from your grandparents. Okay, so we got know when to walk away. We got pay attention to the things that you are grateful for in those moments when you're having a hard time. Okay, and enjoy soothing cup of tea, meaning soft words. Okay, be kind to each other, be soothing towards each other. If you have something that's harsh to say, you don't have to be shouting it. You don't have to say it with hatred. You know what I'm saying? If you say it, and you say it in a very calm, because your truth is your truth, but it matters how you say it. So if you just say it in a respectable manner, then a sensible person will respect you for your truth. And if it's true, then they'll work with you and shift the thing how they need to shift the thing, and so on. So we got to play a game with your kids, being inclusive. Don't forget the rest of your family and your friends. Okay, don't let your life evolve around that one person. We tend to shut everybody else out when we get a nice boo. Okay, yeah, isn't that good? And the last one God sharing with us is practice positive affirmations. So practice positive affirmations means speaking to yourself in a positive manner, speaking to your partner in a positive manner, speaking to everyone involved in a positive manner. Okay? look for the good in the situation, and if you are seeing the bad, then express it in a respectful way. All right, so it's all about communication. It's about knowing when to walk away and doing it in a respectful manner, being inclusive. Don't forget those who were there with you and for you before you got with this person that you're so in love with. Okay, don't burn any bridges that you don't need to burn. Yeah. So, and another good thing about not burning bridges is sometimes you try to get with someone. Let's say you try to get with someone now and it doesn't really work out well. Who knows what can happen between you two, like further down the line? Because if you maintain that line of communication, what will happen is you will develop a friendship. And people tend to be more honest in friendships and get to know each other more personally, you know. And once you know someone for who they truly are, because we tend to be more true with our friends than we are with our husbands, wives, girlfriend, boyfriends, for whatever reason. It's silly to me, but okay. I guess we don't want to not be liked or some shit, so we pretend we're. It's a terrible idea. Anywho, so yeah, so by not burning that bridge and maintaining a friendship, building a friendship, you could be building your next relationship without even realizing it, because I think the sensible thing to do is to be friends with someone first before you actually get, because you have to get to know someone. It's sense to get to know someone before you actually invite them into your personal space and commit to them and try to build anything with them. Because even if it's a business, you don't want to build a business with the wrong person. You don't want to build a family with the wrong person, because your finances, their finances, if they're terrible at finances, then you're gonna be holding the muddy end of the stick and shit like that. So it's better to get to know someone before. So try not to burn bridges, okay? Maybe in a lot of the cases we have burnt bridges in the past, and you never know how far you could have gone in the getting to know each other process by now, okay? And you might have liked what you might have liked what you would have seen. English. Anywho, so the next card we have, we're looking at the first five again. 3, 4, 5. God says. So we have perception. Ooh, yeah, we know what perception is all about, and perceptions are not always, they're not always correct. So we got perception, we have laughter, we have magic, we have shame, and we have abandonment. So what I'm getting from here is people who are too egotistical, people who are too thin-skinned, okay? Part of the reason why our relationships don't last and they're not harmonious and whatnot is because we cannot take constructive criticism. A lot of us can't take constructive criticism because of this feeling of shame. Shame gets in the way of good relationships. So, because we have perception, laughter, magic, shame, and then abandonment. So after you feel ashamed, then you leave out. Even if you don't leave out in the physical, you leave out spiritually because you feel ashamed. Now, we need to do better than that. That's a silly reason to throw away what could possibly be a good relationship just because you're thin-skinned. That's ridiculous, because how many people you think are going to be out there that never ever hurt your feelings? How arrogant of us to think that we're so perfect, okay, that we don't have any flaws. And that comes from this pretending to be what we're not again, because we don't want to show the ugly side. You have to be comfortable. Listen, when somebody love you, they're gonna love you for exactly who you are. Even if you need to make improvements at the moment, if somebody loves you, they're going to love you as you are and tell you about your crap. They're gonna tell you about your crap And you can laugh about it, because if you're honest about who you are and they're honest with you about who you are and vice versa, then it actually kills that feeling of shame. It kills that feeling of disappointment. It kills that tension in the situation. You see, it makes it easier to bear, because it's like, if you have someone who, let's say your partner is terrible with money. If you know, and if they know that they're terrible with money, obviously you act accordingly, because if they're trying to work on it, then you know you don't give them a certain amount of money. Okay, so only give them what you can afford to have them fuck up. Be honest about your flaws. If you know you have a money kind of issue, then be honest about it. At least if you're honest about it, then you can actually be dealt with and get the help that you need to overcome, or even just maintain. You know, if you're terrible at raising children, maybe you're a spoiler, you like to give the child whatever they like, kind of parenting, admit it, but also admit to yourself what the pitfalls are in that. Because usually in a relationship we have one strict parent and one spoiler parent, which is a healthy balance. But then the strict parent ends up becoming the monster. But what I've seen in those cases is that monster becomes the foundation and the rock of the child when they get older and they understand the benefits of the strict culturing. You see, so like, one parent always says yes, the next parent always, well, not always, but they say no. And then when they say no, the child tend to go to the one that say yes, and but if the spoiler parent is a sensible parent, then they'll say, so and so said no, you're not gonna get me in any trouble. If it was up to me, I would give you, but she or he already said no. You see, and the child will be upset with, especially the strict parent, but also a tiny bit with the spoiler parent. And they'll probably think to themselves that they don't like you for a while, but when they get older and they understand life and they see the benefits of having to hear no, accept a no from time to time, you know what I mean, being restricted from going certain places, wearing certain things, saying certain things, watching certain things, and things like that, then they'll come to love the strict parent. But you have to wait till they get older to get that the accolades and the appreciation. But trust me, it's something worth waiting for. Yeah, so we need to stop being so thin-skinned. All right, we need to be honest about who we are. All right, if you go to have sex with your person and it ends up not being great sex, be honest about it. And if you know that you didn't give the person good sex, how about you be honest about that too? What's the big deal? It's only one time. If you assess the situation, what is it that went wrong, and freaking try again. And if at first and second you don't succeed, you try again. What's the big deal? Practice make perfect. Especially you're getting to know someone new. You're not gonna know what they like. You're not gonna know everything about what they like, what they don't like. You know what I'm saying? You don't really know their body like that. Stop being so thin-skinned. That's the point. So God said part of the reason why we can't have happy, long-lasting, productive, harmonious relationships is because we're too damn thin-skinned. Okay? Lose the ego. All right. So the next case we have is the prosperity. All right. So that's the next card to come out. Prosperity. So what your person has or does not have is bearing too much importance. Let's look at the bottom of the deck. So at the bottom of the deck we have intensification, homecoming, foundation, passion, balance, clearance. Clearance of the ethos, clearance of the love. So what this is saying to me is, if a lot of people are living by the philosophy, if they don't have no money they can't get no love. That's what this is saying. Okay, so part of the reasons why we can't have harmonious, happy, long-lasting, productive relationships is because we're basing whether or not we deal with someone on the size of their bank account or their pockets, their wallet. A lot of people live by that philosophy in this day and time. I know that for sure. And the problem is, we kind of raising the bar too high, because there was a time when people used to build with each other, you know. But I know it's risky building with someone, because a lot of the time you help to build someone and then they leave your ass in the dust. But love is a risk, period. And it's either we live in fear thinking that that's going to be our fate, or we live in faith and knowing that even if that happens, there are rewards in the future coming towards us for the dedication that we have put into this person. Because a lot of the times the person that we bless isn't the one to bless us back, if you understand what I'm saying. So if you find the courage to build with someone who has less than you, if you're in the position to help them to upgrade their self financially, then just know that there's a possibility. Do it knowing that there's a possibility that once this person gets on their feet well, that they're going to leave and find someone else, because that has happened so many times. You can't be fearful, okay? Think of it as an investment in your future. So even if this person isn't the one who ends up blessing you, you never know who might be watching and seeing how much effort that you put into helping to build a person. Now, when it comes to prosperity, as far as I am concerned, my thing is, it's one thing to get with a man who doesn't have a lot of money, a lot of possessions or whatever. But it's another thing to get with one who is in that situation and they're lazy and unmotivated. So if you find a man who is simply down at the moment, but they are motivated to try and pull themselves up, then to me that's a good one to work with. If you get with someone that you have to actually try to force to go learn something, or go get a job, or make basic moves towards their own independence, their own financial independence, then that's a job that you should not take on. That's my opinion. I mean, it's risky. That is very, very risky, because someone who doesn't even show motivation to want to go look for a job, that means they're gonna be dependent on you. You see, and you know them types that are too proud to work in a shoe shop, or work in a fast food restaurant, or to be a cleaner, or them kind of thing. You don't need to be working with them people either, because sometimes you have to take a small step and work towards what you actually want to achieve, because it's better to get something than to get nothing at all. Just know that this person should simply know that even though they're starting out in such a small position, in such a so-called loathable position, because most people will look at them and they will laugh at them and stuff like that, but remember, where you're at isn't where you're going to always be. And as long as you keep working towards what you're trying to achieve, you're gonna get there sooner rather than later. Okay? And you may see it, or this person may see it, as simply a working at McDonald's, or a working at Burger King, or working at a shoe shop, or whatever. But really and truly, That's just the financial aspect of it. You don't know who God is putting you in this position to meet. You don't know who's going to walk into your shop. You don't know what kind of links you're going to get. You don't know who's really watching you. Because when you work at these places, just because it's not what you want to do doesn't mean that you should do it in a half-hearted way. No, 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 no. Because especially if someone has their eye on you, if you stand out, okay, in a healthy way, then people will be watching you, and instead of you going to look for other opportunities, people will come and find you, especially in a day like this where good work ethics is such a freaking, it's like a myth. It's like a myth nowadays days. People don't take pride in their appearance. People don't take pride in customer service. People don't take pride in what they do. It doesn't matter if it's not what you want to do. We should do it well, or get the hell out. Get out the position so that somebody who wants to do it well can come in and do it well. People need to miss you when you're gone, not be happy you're gone. Big difference. Anywho, I digress. So yeah, so it's all about what you value. Do you put money over love, or do you actually take a chance? I would recommend that we start taking chances, and just don't expect the one that we take a chance with to be, I mean, if they are the one to bless us back with good love, then that would be fantastic. But don't expect it. Release your expectations. Look at it as an investment into your own future, helping to build someone else, because they may have a shitty financial background, but they get flying marks in all the other departments. You understand? Maybe they're good. They're a good like a good father. You know. Maybe they know how to express themselves healthily. Their emotions. They know how to express themselves. They respect you. Okay. They're humble. You know. They respect. They're helpful. Things like that. Look for other qualities, and if the other qualities look good, then you might want to take a chance on this person, because I don't think that you will lose. And if this person doesn't end up being the one to bless you, just know that the universe has that gift for you coming in the right time. So it's just an investment into your future. Okay, so that's what I'm getting from that part. So let's see what else. We got two more decks. Let's see. We got Harvest. We got Page of Chalices. We got Seven of Artemis. We got Eight of Wands. And we have the Standing Stone. And it's so sad what I'm getting from this message here, because I'm getting the inability to say you're sorry when you've done something wrong. That's part of the reason why we can't have harmonious, happy, long-lasting, productive relationships, because we choose to feel crappy, or we choose not to say we're sorry when we've done something wrong. Yeah, being unforgiving as well, or refusing to admit when you've done something wrong, asking for forgiveness. So it's I'm getting from both sides, being forgiven and asking for forgiveness, admitting when things are not the way that it's supposed to be. That's one of the reasons why we don't have happy and long-lasting, productive, can I remember the last one? I see. Happy, productive, long-lasting, harmonious relationships. Yeah. So, in order to maintain a good relationship, we must be able to admit when we're wrong and ask for forgiveness. And in order to maintain a good relationship, we need to respect someone who comes and tell you that they did wrong, and be forgiving when they ask for forgiveness. And you cannot give forgiveness and still be holding on to the negative whatever it is that happened. You can't say you forgive someone and still be holding on to whatever happened. Yeah, that's not gonna be, it's not gonna help things to work out well. If you say you forgive someone for something that they've done, you actually have to let it go. Sometimes it's hard to do, I'm not gonna lie, but at least now we know that that's one of the problems that we have. Because I mean, let's look at the mother of all crimes here, cheating. Now, if your person go out and cheat on you and they come back and they apologize to you, if you choose to forgive them, you need to let it go, or else it will not work. Perhaps let it be a genuine forgiveness the first time. If they do it again, then you can take other action. But if you choose to tell them, yeah, I forgive you, and then all other actions point towards, I'm still upset with you, that's not a good formula. You're not going to get very far with that. That's just going to bring you heartache. I saw a post on Facebook. It says, if you hold on to the hurt, you will always suffer. But if you hold on to the lesson, you will always grow. So we have to learn how to let go of the hurts of the past and take a good look at the lessons that we've learned and keep pushing forward. And never put yourself in such a position that you have to be dependent on someone that you really don't want to be with. Okay, this is why this part over here was talking about maintaining those relationships, because you never know when you might have to skedaddle, when you might have to get the hell out from someone, because some people are just serial cheaters. Some people just don't give a fuck about your feelings, and if they keep cheating, then it's gonna be only a matter of time before they bring in some diseases to you, or some crazy chick or man that just fell in love with them, want to get you out the way so that they can have them, and dumb shit like that. Nobody needs them kind of drama in their life. So independence, it's good to have your independence. Be independent together. Yeah, always have a backup just in case. That's my philosophy anyway. I think it's healthy. I think it's wise. Because the statistics show that most relationships don't fucking work. So why invest your everything into one person only for it to crumble in maybe a year? Maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years. Don't get too comfortable. Be grateful for the time that you spent with this person. Be grateful for the time that you are spending with this person. But always have a backup plan, because like I said, life changes, people change, people go through things and they change. Some of the changes we can handle, some of the changes we cannot. So in those moments when we can't handle the changes that are taking place in our person and we need our own space, then we should have it. It's as simple as that. Like I said, it's wise. But practice positive affirmation. So I'm not saying that because you have another option that you should treat your relationship like shit. It doesn't work that way. That option is just a backup. It's like your savings account. Okay? You're not gonna deal with your current account as if you can squander all the money in it just because you have savings. You understand? So you want to treat this relationship with the respect that it deserves, even though should it go left, should it fail, you can land safely on your feet. Okay? All right. So like we said with this one, we have what they need to hear. So, and we have the what they what they want to hear in reverse. So it's all about what you need to hear. We need to speak the truth to ourselves, speak the truth to each other. Don't get comfortable in hearing what we want to hear, because that's just a false sense of security. That doesn't benefit anybody. That's instant gratification. So you feel good for that split moment when somebody who doesn't love you say that they love you. You feel good because then they're gonna make you feel good too. They're gonna act like they love you at that time, but ultimately when they leave your presence, they don't think about you, they won't call you, they don't value you the way, well, this is just an example, they won't value you the way that someone who actually loves you would love you. You see? So it's better to hear the harsh truth than to be comforted with that beautiful lie. That's what I'm getting from that. Okay? So, yeah. So it's about speaking the truth to ourselves and speaking the truth to others as well. To the one that we're with. Okay? And this rule can go for other relationships as well. It's good to speak the truth. See, if you tell someone the truth and they choose to let's say they choose to take themselves away from you, at least you know where you stand with that person. It doesn't make sense to be lying to people and maintaining a facade just because you're afraid to make them leave you if you tell them the truth of something you've done or said or something like that. You understand? It's better that you can rest in peace knowing that this person, they know who you are, you know who they are. Anybody come with that little bit of gossip telling you that your partner did this or your partner said that, you already know. And you made a conscious decision whether you wanted to stay or go. So they can't hold anything over your head. They can't hold shame over you because you and your partner have an open relationship. You talk to each other. Even though it's hard to hear, you might tell him, take your ass to the couch, or tell her, I'm leaving, I'm not staying in this room with you tonight. I need some space, I need to think. You jump in your car and you carry a blanket and your pillow and you just need some time away. It works, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just need a time out, you know? Because sometimes when we hear the truth, that shit hits so hard that it kind of staggers us for a moment. You understand? Let's be truthful. You know? But it doesn't mean that it warrants a breakup. It doesn't mean that it warrants an argument, shit like that. A soothing cup of tea, my love. Soft words. Take a walk. Especially if it's someone that you value. Relationships take work. It's like a relationship with your child. If you really value this person, the way that you value your child, because the person is helpful, the person brings more light and joy to your life than darkness, because nobody's gonna be perfect, you know. Everybody come with their fair share of light and their fair share of darkness. But if this person if this person makes your life better, then you don't want to throw it away just like that. Okay? So if you need to take a break, take a walk so you can calm down and think about things. If you need 2 days, 3 days away or whatever, however you need to go about it to decide what you really want to do, if the relationship is really worth it and so on, then do that. Okay? Don't make decisions when you're mad. I know it's easier said than done, but that's it. It's easier said than done, but I wish us well. I wish us well. But just remember, emotions are good servants but very poor masters. We need to manage our emotions, or else our emotions will manage us. Okay? So, that's what God wants to share with us right now about what is the divine reason why men and women are having such a difficult time maintaining harmonious, happy, long-lasting, productive relationships. Yeah. So I hope you found the information helpful. I know I freaking did. It makes sense. It makes a whole lot of sense to me. Yeah, so a lot of the times we're just not being ourselves. We're trying to sugarcoat stuff. We're getting angry and expressing ourselves in ways that we really shouldn't. If we're talking and dealing with somebody that we truly love, we tend to put money over love, money over manners, money over what skill. Sometimes you have a man with a skill, but he just don't have, or woman with a skill, sorry, but they just don't have an income coming in right now. Work on it. And remember, self-employment is always an option. Sometimes you have to take your ass back to school to live the quality of life that you could live, to live your best life. You need to take yourself back to school, learn what you have to learn, upgrade your skills. Keep it moving. Okay? And we need to speak what each other need to hear, not just what they want to hear, what we want them to hear, what they think they want to hear. That's not gonna get you to where you want to be, which is in a, let me see if I can remember, in a harmonious, happy, long-lasting, productive relationship. Okay? So, I wish us all the best going forward in our relationships. I hope that you found this information helpful. Thank you so very much for watching. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.